Today we're going to go over a video that was shown to me by Athlean-X. He discusses bench press without pain. A lot of the things he does say at the beginning of the video, like the rotational aspect of the shoulder, is 100% correct.
The shoulder, the internal rotation of the shoulder.
But the way he describes benching on a flat bench just confirms to me that his initial technique was flawed. He's talking about when he's demonstrating the bench, he is one concave, so his sternum is not up, which is one major point. He does talk about clenching your shoulder blades together, but again, when he's demonstrating the bench, his shoulder blades are not together and he's letting his shoulders travel out, which concaves the chest and rounds the spinal column, which does internally rotate. So he was basically doing everything wrong to showcase why he had the AC joint injury. So if he was doing it properly, and yes, doing this will cause an injury. But if you keep those elbows down, and power lifters do the same, they tuck those elbows in for more power. Bodybuilders, we flat them out a little bit. But if you keep that chest up and bring it back and get the full stretch, that was one of the biggest things that I seen, that he was stopping like at 90 degrees with the bars like that far off of his chest.
I always tell you guys, if you're gonna do this, stop here.
He's getting nothing out of that. He's just doing a tricep push. Like there's no chest involvement. He's at the very end of the movement where his triceps take over. So the initial part for the chest is down low. That's where the chest initiates and starts the movement. So that, in my mind, also is wrong. Then he goes into saying that in doing a reverse grip is beneficial for no shoulder pain.
The reverse grip bench press. Now, how does that change things? Because we're externally rotating.
For his ailment, I agree with that analogy or protocol, but he's not taking into account people that don't have really good rotation. So basically, as myself, I have torn both rotators, my left twice, and as you can see, I cannot externally rotate my hands properly. So for me to grab a bar, that puts so much pressure on my wrists and my shoulders just to try to do that. That's causing me shoulder pain without even getting underneath a bar. Again, I always press this when it comes to social media and popular people on social media. You need to look at what the person is saying and take everything into account. So he's not taking the beginner into account. He's not taking people with other shoulder injuries into account. He's not taking people that have rotational issues into account. He's only taking himself, which I understand, and people that he thinks is similar to him, which is great, but you have to take everybody into account. So if you have watched my videos in the past, I talk about when you're doing a bench press, it's basically the analogy of if you're pushing off the ground, you don't think about pushing yourself away from the ground, you're thinking about pushing yourself through the bench, which keeps your shoulders locked on that bench, and everything is this. So when you're coming up, everything is stuck against that bench. But if you're thinking about pushing the bar, yes, most people are gonna try to do that, because they're thinking about, I need to push the bar away. And that's the whole thought process that is wrong when it comes to technique. And that is what creates shoulder injuries, AC, joint tears. Lifting heavy is only gonna tip you over that scale of injury. And not knowing how to do proper form the right way that encompasses the body's technique and the body's movement patterns is gonna lead towards injury. But works for you doesn't work for everybody else. So again, this is my caution out to people is don't believe everything you see on social media. Always think about what is best for you, your joints, your injuries, your ailments. Ask questions, ask somebody. So that is my take on that one. And beware when you're watching social media.